Well, what up, and welcome everyone to today's Mindset Masterclass. As always, we are talking about how you as athletes can get into go mode. Trying to get my screen set up properly. But as always, in our Mindset Masterclass, we give you the tools and the tips that are going to get you to your next level. Guys, it's September, or I'm sorry, August, and September is around the corner. This is a great time to be getting in your rest, to be getting in slower reps. I call it a time to practice slow and sharp rather than be killing our bodies all the time. This is a great time for you to let your bodies grow. But this is also a great time where you can be sharpening your mind. Think about this. School's about to start. The student who can't wait for math class, the student who can't wait for English, the student who's thinking, just sitting there thinking about all how much fun they're going to have in science or English or whatever it is, the subject that they love. Do you think that student's going to have an opportunity to be more successful in that class than a student who's not thinking about it at all? Now, you may say, who's thinking about science? Who's thinking about English? There's one or two out there that love it that much. Well, simply thinking about your goals this year, thinking about what you want to accomplish, feeling yourself, succeeding at the highest levels is work. Okay. I always say that thinking is the hardest job most people never do. I got that from Myron Golden. But you can be thinking right now. So go back and watch every masterclass. Simply journaling, simply taking 5 to 10 minutes every day in what's left of your summer or what's left of any free time that you have on weekends, and be thinking about these things. So, as always, what up and welcome. Today's topic is how we set good goals. Guys, this is a topic that you guys need because most high school athletes aren't setting goals. I know as a high school athlete, I wasn't setting goals, but I began to set goals in college and it took my game to the next level. And so you're talking to someone who not only was a high school All-American, but I was somebody who went from not on the varsity as a freshman to my team's leading scorer as a sophomore. Someone who didn't have a jersey at the beginning of my freshman year to someone who ended up with my jersey in the rafters at the end of my senior year. I'm somebody who did not score a single point early on in my career as a freshman, but ended up being the school's all-time leading scorer as a senior. And so that is what this Mindset Masterclass is about. It's about taking average athletes and helping them unlock their awesome. So I am your guide on this journey. And as I mentioned, we meet every single week on Saturdays at 12. The live streams are also recorded, so feel free to tap in and look at some of the pre-recorded material. But don't neglect this the most powerful muscle that you have, which is your mindset. And so today we want to talk about good goals. Listen, most of you guys aren't setting goals because your parents set them for you. I'm going to say what it is. Most of you aren't setting goals because your parents set them for you. And if you want to get out of simple growth mode, just passively going about your life, into go mode, okay? At some point, your parents give you the keys to the vehicle, right? And I told my son this the other day, who's 16, you have to be able to make decisions. Well, at the same time, that's a metaphor for your life because you're starting to get the keys, the proverbial keys to your life. And you have to make decisions. You have to drive in a certain direction. You have to set goals, okay? You have to know where you're going. Or I take that back. You don't necessarily have to know where you're going, but you will reach your destination faster when you do know where you're going. Let's say it that way. And the more desire you can put around your direction is you're going to leave people. I'm somebody who drives with a specific direction. When I get in the car, I have 2 or 3 things to do. I've designed my route for the day, and I'm constantly going by people who don't have a plan for the day, who are just mulling about, just on the road. And those people are great. There's nothing wrong with that. There may be times in your life where you just need to take your foot off the pedal and relax, but you have 4 years. As a high school athlete, you have 4 years. And if you don't press that pedal and get in go mode, I know plenty of athletes whose best years were as college students. Athletics was behind them, and they were growing into their body, growing into their mindsets, growing into their ability to have goals and establish direction in their lives. And they no longer had the opportunity to invest it into athletics. So we've got to get into go mode. And it starts with establishing goals. Why? Goals are your God power. Okay. Goals are the part of you that is like God, the creative part of you, the ability to dictate what's in your world. There's going to be a time in your life right now, what you receive in your life. Look around. The house you live in, the car you drive, the things you experience are a result of your parents' goals, what they've poured into you, what they've thought about you, how they've projected and planned for you, and the things they've planned for themselves as well. Well, you're starting to get into a great time into your life where you can dictate those things. Yeah, maybe just a little bit now. Maybe you're a high school sophomore or high school junior, and you're just starting to be able to dictate some things. But believe me when I tell you that what you do over the next 4 years will dictate what happens to you for the 4 years after that. Okay. Because of the work I put in, because of the mindset I applied as a high school athlete, that led me to become a Division I college athlete and an All-American. That led me to start my life as a professional basketball player for 6 years, make over $1 million. It allowed me to, it also opened the door for me when I had my injury to go to law school, because I went back to the same school where I played. And they gave me the opportunity to be a graduate assistant. So I got over $200,000 in scholarship money from this one institution between my undergrad and my law degree. I then went into athletic administration because of my athletic background. So you see how taking my high school opportunity seriously and maximizing and getting it to into go mode, just out of growth mode, has created momentum for my entire life. So this is an opportunity that is available to you. And so you have to understand that we are God-like beings. Okay. When God created us, he made us different from the other animals, from the plants and the things of the earth. He made us with his hand and blew his breath into us. And then he took Adam and he said, you name the animals. He literally gave him the opportunity to say, what is it that you want to see, Adam? What is it that you think, Adam? Okay. And so we have that sense of creativity inside of us. What is it that you want in your life? That is something that God has implanted within you, that it's a dream that only matters to you, right? But you have to unlock it. Because if you told me that you wanted to be the all-time leading scorer at your school, that may be a goal that doesn't matter to me, because that's not my dream, my goal. So your goal is unique to you, and that goal is a touch of God. So the main thing I see, once we get over the barrier, if you can just get over that barrier of establishing goals, I want to talk about a Harvard Business Review that I read today. It was done by a company called 3M, which is the company that does all the sticky pads. I happen to have one here. This is a sticky pad. So the company that makes sticky pads did research, and I want to say they involved over 1 million people. And they found that, first and foremost, less than 3% of human beings set goals. And out of those goals, only 1% of those people write them down. Of that 1% that write down their goals, they accomplish their goals 3 times more often than those who do not write them down. So simply getting a goal is going to put you in front of the pack. Just saying a goal, writing it down is going to put you further in front of the pack. So if we can just get over those barriers, you're in good company. But we're not about just getting over barriers. We're about getting into go mode and making the most of this opportunity. And so we have to become more specific with our goals, is what I'm saying. We have to get out of soft goals and get into SMART goals. What are soft goals? First of all, unspecific, okay? Goals that are not strong. They're very general in nature. You know, I would love to be a good, no, our goals have to be specific. Going back to the example of Adam, God didn't say, hey, kind of give me what you're thinking on these animal names. Like, let's work. He said, give me a specific name. Okay. So unspecific is the first thing, or not strong. The other thing, the O is for overemphasis on the uncontrollable. Okay. If your goals are involving if-then statements, you know, well, if Tommy moves into the district, then I want to be, the backup, or if coach stays, or if we get in this district this year, then I want to average 10 points. If your goal is focused on things that are out of your control, it's not a good goal. Okay. Point blank, period. Failure to inspire. Listen, if your goal doesn't get you out of the bed in the morning, if your goal doesn't get you out of the bed in the morning, if it doesn't inspire you, there are all kinds of good goals that aren't specific to you. You may say, I want to be a straight A student this year. That's a great goal. But if it doesn't inspire something, if it doesn't give you some tingles, if it doesn't create some type, like the kids say, make you feel some type of way, that's not a good goal. Okay. I got to bed late last night. We had a party for my niece, going away party. She's going to college, and we were up late, and I was tired this morning, but I have a goal to bring you guys great content. And that literally got me out of bed when I didn't want to. A good goal will get you to do things that you don't want to do. Okay. The other problem with soft goals is that they're timeless. There's something about adding a time element. And when I say timeless, that doesn't mean valuable. I'm saying timeless as far as you haven't involved the time element. You haven't said, I want to accomplish this by this date, or this season, or this year, or in the next 30 days. You put a time-bound element on it, because that creates a sense of urgency. And it's not just a goal that we're always saying one day, one day, one day. Our subconscious doesn't react. The universe doesn't react to one day. It reacts to a specific day. And so that gets us into our SMART goals, because SMART goals are specific first and foremost. Okay. They are measurable. They are achievable. They are realistic, and they are time bound. Okay. All of these things are going to help you create better goals. Okay. I don't even have to go through them specifically, because if you can just take one of these elements and improve, you're going to get better. If you can just make your goals more specific, add specificity to them. Instead of being general, add one element of specificity. And we'll talk about how to do that. Measurable. Make sure you know, usually your goals need to involve numbers or something that you're doing regularly. Achievable, realistic. Okay. These are, and it's not realistic. It should be relevant. It should, and that goes back to, it should inspire you. And then obviously time bound. Okay. So here are some ways you can create more specificity in your goals. I like to give high school athletes context, because often you guys have no practice in setting goals. And we talked a little bit about this last week, but I wanted to harp on it and get even and drill down on it even more. Team goals. Why team goals? Because you know your team. Team goals. Why team goals? Because you know your team. You're familiar with you have context of who does what well on your team. You have context of where your team is in the general scope of the league and the state and all these other things. Okay, so your team goals or why team goals is because you have context, and so if you can just start establishing a pecking order within your team, I tell my son and my daughter all the time, in order for you to get the type of recognition that you're seeking, you have to be good within your school first. Then you have to be good within your city. Then you have to be good within your state, and hopefully it goes beyond there. But if you can just start with those local to you, creating a niche that makes you the best in some area. Everybody thinks scoring, but it doesn't have to be scoring. It could be defensively. It could be in rebounding. It could be in your energy production, whatever the case may be. So you may say, I will be my team's leading scorer this season. I will lead my team with energy in all practices this season. Okay. As far as league goals, okay, again, they're a little bit wider. They're a little bit more wide, more encompassing in scope of maybe a league is a citywide league or a countywide league or just a certain geographic area that's a little bit bigger than your team. You want to start to see yourself in the scope of the league. Where do I fit? Am I one of the best scorers in the league? Am I one of the best assist person in the league? Maybe even a collective goal in that I'm going to help my team achieve a top 3 finish in the league this year. Okay. But you just have to start thinking as far as in context of where you are. Lastly, a me goal. And this is a character goal because as a high schooler, no, scratch that. As a person, we're all needing to get better. We're all needing to become better people individually within our character. And so a me goal is something that you want to see improve in your character. Okay. I want to get better in my body language. I want to get better in my dedication to my stretching or my shooting or my ball handling, whatever the case may be. That's a goal that's specific to you. So again, team goals, league goals, and me goals. Write this stuff down, guys. You may take the notes in your phone, but write down these examples just so when you're working on this later, you have some recollection as far as what these involve. The other thing I'm going to tell you, and what I'm learning about goals is to keep it very simple for high school athletes, because often it goes above you guys' head. And so what you guys need to do, what I'm going to tell you is review your goals regularly. Okay. I write down my goals every single day. Okay. I just lost my notebook about 3 days ago, which is irregular for me. I usually write down my goals every single day. But reviewed goals equals a renewed grind. Why is that important? Because if every day I saw on the Olympics where the coaches and the team voted LeBron James as the best player or the best practice player as they were preparing for the Olympics. He's the oldest and most accomplished athlete on the floor, yet he treats every day like it's its first day. That is a gift. That is a skill. If you can learn to every day renew your grind, we talk about having a grind set, the things that you do when you're in certain situations, as far as how you start your practices, how you prepare for games, how you prepare for training. And it all starts with a refreshed mind, because when we get tired, we cut corners. When we get mentally fatigued, physically fatigued, we don't want what we previously said we want, right? We're just like, hey, this is too hard. We give up, even if it's just for a day, even if it's just for a practice, even if it's just for a drill, even if it's just for a moment. The more we can do away with this mental and physical and spiritual fatigue, the greater we're going to be, the faster we're going to get into go mode. So review your goals so you can renew your mind. Remind yourself of how good it's going to feel to accomplish this goal, instead of, man, I got to get up again today. Man, I know coach is going to have us do the running test today. Oh man, I hate lifting weights. I hate leg day. Whatever the case may be, there are hard things you have to get to. And those hard things are often in front of our face. We see them every day. Well, if you can start to see the benefit, the goal, the success, the accomplishment, the achievement every day, then you'll be more successful in tackling that hard thing that you have to do. So lastly, our meditation minute. Today, we are going to just take a couple deep breaths. And again, the reason we do this is so that these things seep into your mind, seep into your spirit, you take them with you. Meditation is something you should be practicing before your games, before your practices, whatever the case may be. It just has to be a couple seconds, let alone a minute. And just take some time, breathe, okay? Think about yourself accomplishing those goals, okay? Our affirmation for today is I set good goals. Simply, I set good goals. Make it your own. I set good goals. Okay? You want to drive yourself in the direction that is beneficial for your life. Start to do that right now. See yourself in the driver's seat of your life. Everything that you do right now having implications into your future. Set bigger and bigger goals. See yourself setting larger, more impactful goals. Not just goals that impact you, but impact those around you, impact those that you don't even know, impact those on a much wider scale. Okay? What you're doing now will determine your future for years and years to come. See all of that unfolding. See your grind right now opening up doors for you. It may be even wearing a suit and tie 10 years from now. It may be something completely different. Maybe a relationship you develop as a basketball player. Maybe it's a work ethic you develop. Whatever the case may be, okay? Maybe it's an intangible skill you develop to connect with others. Whatever the case may be, your grind is going to pay off. And I need you to see that and go to the beginning and set good goals. Okay. Hope this helps. As always, please share.